Hey there, Skullheads. I'm Snags.
And I'm Ol Silky.
And we recorded an entire Stevie Ray Vaughan episode that will never see the light of day, at least that version, because the platform we were using screwed us. And the audio was clipping in and out every couple of seconds. So we're moving on. We're on a different platform. We're moving on to our scheduled subject for this week, which is Pantera, and we'll see how this works out. Hopefully, this one
Yeah,
works.
we've left StreamYard behind.
Yeah, I guess we're calling them out by name. Yes,
Fuck.
StreamYard sucks. So we're now
Um,
trying out the Riverside FM, which is the native platform of Spotify. See if this one works.
I hope so.
Yeah. So why don't you lay down? So Silky's got his Blacktooth grin mixed up tonight. Is it in the Black Sabbath tumbler?
Yes, I will. I just wanted to get this last note in. So here is the Blacktooth Grin in the Black Sabbath tumbler,
Nice.
a
I'm
32
drinking
ounce 32 ounce
tea
Crown and splash of Coke.
and Coke. There you go. I'm sure that's not 32 ounces of Crown. That would be insane.
Well, no, but it's 32 ounces.
Yeah, yeah. I'm drinking tea out of my Misfits mug as usual. So there we go.
Living on the edge.
Living pretty crazy here. All right, let's go. What do you got?
So the Blacktooth Grin for all you kids at home trying to keep up with us. Um, Megadeth, the song "Sweating Bullets" from Countdown to Extinction, a really fucking awesome record. In that song, the lyric is "Someday you too will know my pain and smile its blacktooth grin." And Dime took that blacktooth grin, and that became the name of a Crown Royal and a splash of Coke, or Seagram 7 and a splash of Coke. And they would serve up blacktooth grins constantly. You really could not hang out backstage and not be served another drink. So
This is
that's
basically just either Crown or Seagram's, and the Coke is
right.
probably symbolic. It's
Yes,
basically just
probably
straight up
that
whiskey.
probably was poured near a bottle of a can of Coke.
They got a little eyedropper and splash a little drop of Coke in it.
Yeah, yeah, it's chased with the thought of Coke
Yeah, yeah.
in the
There's a
drink.
mixer right here
Um,
somewhere. Let me keep looking.
so anyway, episode 112, um,
Mm.
the Abbott
Actually,
brothers.
this is episode 111. Because
Oh
the
well,
111 we
yeah,
recorded
with an
that
asterisk.
new this,
The
there
lost
there
episode.
was a the 111, the original 111 was Stevie Ray Vaughan. I still think we need to, because you made notes for that. I still think we need to loop back around and do that at some point. Just record it again.
Well, and we'll
Once we
call
find a
that episode
platform that doesn't,
111.
yeah, we'll call it episode 111 Redux. And
Uh huh.
w- eh, once we find a platform that doesn't fuck us, like,
Right.
yeah.
Um, so
All right.
anyway, episode 112. This goes out, dedicate to the Abbott brothers, and also to Aaron Langworthy, my partner in crime down here. Back in the day, we would drink a lot of Crown and crank many different bands, but a lot of Pantera. So I had to mention Aaron Langworthy. Um, but the Abbott brothers, growing up in Arlington, Texas, in 1981, they had formed a band. They were called Gemini, and then they changed it to Eternity, and then finally settled on Pantera, which is a much better name to get behind than Gemini
Yeah,
would
well, if you
not.
watch those early videos of early Pantera, I think Steel Panther would have fit nicely too.
Their early years with Terry Glaze as the singer uh, immediately brings to mind early Def Leppard for me. Um, but you
Yeah, it's
had Dime. What's that?
little. It's definitely yeah. Early Def Leppard might have even been a little heavier than early Pantera, but anyways, keep going.
So 1981, Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell with Rex Brown and Terry Glaze. They would play all over Arlington, in and around, all through Texas. Um, and their early influences were Kiss, Van Halen, Def Leppard, Ted Nugent, Judas Priest, the usual stuff that we were all listening to
Oh
in
yeah.
1981, I would say. Um, and their father was a producer. He ran his own recording studio, so they kind of, even though they were talented, they were lucky enough that they could, you know, get into a recording studio without any real connection other than their father. So, um, uh, their first album in 1983, Metal Magic, Dime is 16 years old and Vinny is 19. So, this is listed as one of the worst album covers, typical of '80s metal do-it-yourself covers. Metal Magic. It's got a real goofy looking uh, panther on the screen swinging a sword. It's silly, but standout tracks on Metal Magic were "Ride My Rocket," which always made me think of Ace Frehley's "Rocket
Rocket
Ride."
Ride. Yeah,
Uh,
which would make sense.
Widowmaker is a really good riff. Nothing on but the radio. A real good innuendo song, and Rock Out and I'll Be All Right was the lead off single for Metal Magic. Um, Not much of a dent. They didn't garnish too much. They didn't set the world on fire with Metal Magic. It only sold about 5,000 copies, but you have to start somewhere. Um, Musically, the guitar, even on this first album, you can hear some really. You can definitely tell it's Dimebag Darrell. Um, so that's Metal Magic, pretty decent in relation to what else was out there in '83. This is not a bad record. Um, and then in '84, a year later, Projects in the Jungle. This was a major improvement. This got 50 most hilariously ugly album covers as well. But this one sold almost three times as much, 15,000 plus copies, according to Vinnie Paul. And All Over Tonight was the video from Projects in the Jungle. Pretty decent video. Um, and then Out for Blood and Like Fire and Heavy Metal Rules. Those were the. I was just picking out like standout tracks from each album, and those four make the rest of the album listenable. Um, but Projects in the Jungle, pretty decent. Now these albums we're reviewing, they did vinyl and sold them at their shows and stuff. They were never signed to a major label or anything. So I Am the Night was the third album. Now this one did 25,000 copies. So each release they were getting better and selling more, probably because they were touring more, um, and they were getting they were like supporting bands for a lot of bands coming through Texas. Hot and Heavy from I Am the Night would be their second video. And this is just typical them on stage, um, shots of their dad's studio. They're playing around on the knobs like they're mixing and everything. Um, Shots of them. Uh, they spray paint an old VW Bug, and they got some chick in like a blue leotard, like they kidnap her, and she's in the back window waving as they drive off at the end of the video. But that's Hot and Heavy. Other tracks on I Am the Night, Onward We Rock, DGTTM, which stood for Dime Goes to the Movies, good instrumental, and Come On Eyes and Forever Tonight. Those were the standout tracks for I Am the Night.
When
Um,
did he go from being Diamond Darrell to Dimebag Darrell? Because and
with each record, the liner notes would say like Diamond Daryl, Diamond Daryl. I believe he's Diamond Daryl even on Power Metal, and then he goes to Dimebag for Cowboys from Hell.
okay.
But Rex would have different. Um, he was just Rex forever, um, and there was some of the there was some play on sex, drugs, and rock and roll, like Rex, drugs, and rock and roll,
Oh, there you go.
stuff like that. Um, but Power Metal was so tensions in the band in November of '85 had Terry Glaze given a 2 week notice in hopes that shit would chill out. So Terry, in a Pete Best, Mick Taylor moment, would exit stage left.
Well,
He leaves the band.
uh,
Um,
according to AI here, there was, their father was very heavily involved in managing the band in that early phase, and there Terry had some issues with the amount of control that their father had. That was part of it.
ah,
So
well,
it's not all just going for the heavier vocal sound. It was also
yeah,
those.
but more importantly, they had 3 fucking albums that they wouldn't have had if their dad had.
Oh, I
So
know. Yeah, I know. He made all that stuff
that's
happen.
that's uh, that's funny. I did
Yeah.
wonder what had actually occurred. But so he leaves in '85, and they spend a couple years um, auditioning, and they if you look up Pantera, they do list some former members at this point. They probably played around locally
Can
with
I
these
mention
different
something?
singers. Yeah.
I saw. It wasn't until doing the research tonight I realized I saw Terry Glaze live in the band he was in after Pantera. They were called Lord Tracy. They were named after Tracy Lords,
Uh huh.
and they were one of those kind of ironic, tongue-in-cheek glam metal bands like Ugly Kid Joe. I actually mentioned them in an earlier episode when you're talking about you were talking about Ugly Kid Joe, and I said, "Are they like Lord Tracy?"
Okay.
That glam band that was named after Tracy Lord. Well, hell, that was Terry Glaze's
That's
band,
hilarious.
Lord Tracy. I saw them at the Masquerade. And they had this
Really?
whole yeah, they had this whole routine. Like the drummer would come out and they put helmets on a bunch of girl groupies, and he'd do a little drum solo on the helmets on their heads, and typical
Wow.
'80s,
That's
Spinal Tap type stuff.
yeah.
But that was him, Lord
Were
Tracy.
they headlining or opening, or you don't remember?
That I can't remember. They had an album out called Deaf Gods of Babylon on MCA Records in 1989, and that would have been about when I saw them, so they were probably
Wow.
touring that record. And I can't remember if they were opening for some other band that I went to see, or if I just heard about this crazy band called Lord Tracy that, and I ran down to see them. I don't remember. Uh,
That's funny as hell.
and they are on. It looks like they are on Spotify. Lord Tracy. So
Huh.
you can look them up on there.
Yeah, I'll check them out. That's funny. I had heard of the band, but I had no idea that's who it
I didn't
was.
know that's who it was. Yeah, I just assumed he went straight to flipping burgers. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what most of
So I
those
mean,
guys do.
well, it's funny. Like they went on and made such a. So they've got something from 2008, 2004. So they did a couple albums,
Yeah.
and not the album you were talking about.
Well, apparently 1989, Deaf Gods of Babylon. Oh, that one's not on Spotify. You're saying?
No, no, just they've
Yeah.
got four other ones.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it must just be later shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, so they get Phil Anselmo, and this is really when the groove metal era begins. They they did "Proud to Be Loud." That's a standout track on power metal, written by Keel guitarist Mark Ferrari, and used in a party scene of the 2001 film Donnie Darko. Uh, Credited to the Dead Green Mummies,
There
and
you go.
that's the only song that you'll see listed like commercially released. The rest of those four albums are still, um, you know, not officially released other than vinyl and cassette. Um,
Mm.
and MCA brought them in and said that the album was too heavy. They wanted them to be, Bon Jovi Texas style, and
Right.
the band refused.
Right.
Um, Now, what's sad is in past interviews with Phil Anselmo in 2013 and Rex in 2021, on reissuing the first four officially, uh, Rex stated um, that reissuing them would be giving credit where it's fucking undue, referring to Terry Glaze. So I guess by
Mm.
reissuing those three, it would be giving Terry Glaze anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the cover of Power Metal, it might as well be one of those other albums,
Oh yeah,
aesthetic wise. I mean, Phil Anselmo's got the poofed out '80s hair just as much as anybody else in that.
yeah. Phil said he wouldn't be against power metal coming out officially, but he's not like proud of the record or anything.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it sucks because those four records uh, involve Dime and Vinny, and Pantera fans. Now everyone's aware of YouTube, and you can pull those albums up. You
Oh
can
yeah.
get them as
And we'll link them
you,
all from the click bit.
you can get them as bootlegs on CD. Um, you can even go on eBay and track down a cassette of power metal, but it just it just the completist or whatever. There, those things should be released for the fans. Um, but standouts from power metal are "Rock the World." The solo that Dime plays on "We'll Meet Again" is vicious, really good. And then we mentioned "Proud to Be Loud." They do a remake of "Down Below" from "I Am the Night." Um, and then "Hard Ride" is a great track on power metal. And a great track on here is called PST 88, um, which stood for Pussy Tight Tonight. And just a great track. Uh, Darrell sings on that one. So that's kind of cool. But that ends the kind of secret beginnings of Pantera. And so July 24th, 1990, that's when Cowboys from Hell was released. And this was with producer Terry Date. Those first four records were produced by their father. So this one's produced by Terry Date.
Well, yeah, this is, and the thing is, they that somehow a scout from MCA heard about them, and I don't know if it's because MCA, was it MCA or Atco? It was one of those major
Atco.
labels.
I think it was Atco.
Atco. Yeah, and they came out to see them, and by then their club performances had evolved into the more just heavy extreme metal sound, um, and he was just blown away. And
Yeah.
and they knew this guy was coming to watch their show. After three songs, the guy leaves, and they're like, "Ah." Oh. They assume, well, that's
Yeah,
another
they ran him
opportunity
out.
blown. And they just get wasted and just party and just have a great time the rest of the show, not giving a damn. And they're done with the show, and they turn around, and he's there. And they're like, he's like, that was amazing. They're like, then why'd you leave after three songs? He's like, I had to run back and call the label and tell them we got to sign you guys immediately. I guess it's before cell phones, or you had to
Right.
get out of the
Yeah.
noisy.
Exactly.
Well,
You weren't gonna grab the nasty phone behind the bar.
right. Or if you
Um,
called from your cell, no one's gonna fucking hear you with
right.
them blasting.
Um, but so Pantera dons the glam metal bullshit for what would become groove metal. This first record, this thing grabbed me like almost like that distant church bell and thunder of Sabbath's first record. When you hear that first little rumble of the guitar on Cowboys from Hell, um, almost like a little doodle, and it just builds and crushes your skull. Um, but the whole record is epic. They really had lightning in a whiskey bottle. Cowboys from Hell, Primal Concrete, Sledge, Psycho Holiday, Heresy, Cemetery Gates, Domination, Shattered, Clash with Reality, Medicine Man, Message in Blood, The Sleep, Art of Shredding. Those songs would dominate the first few years um, in their set lists. I mean, they really played every track. Um, but this would be really extreme metal, the birth of extreme metal right here. They just totally changed the whole scheme, the whole visual with Cowboys from Hell. And then 2 years later, they're touring all over the place. Vulgar Display of Power, probably their most popular record to this day. Um, this would be their sixth album, but many of us thought it was their second album. Um, and this was a savage release. It was number 44 on the Billboard 200. Every track rips. The entire Vulgar Display of Power, fucking classic record. Um, and I saw Pantera at Masquerade. They had opened for Prong on this
Oh, I remember
album.
Prong. I had a Prong cassette tape back in the
Yeah.
day.
Um, I don't know which album it would have been, but they opened for Prong. I was 19 and just started working at Tower Records, and a couple of guys from work had tickets, and I was the new guy. Hey, come, let's go, and we just partied and went to see Pantera at the Masquerade. And at the time, you were seeing Prong and Pantera, but it wasn't like seeing Prong and Pantera. You were just seeing Prong and Pantera. you know, it
Right. You're
wasn't.
seeing Prong in some opening band, and Prong wasn't even
Yeah.
that huge of a deal.
And
Yep.
but I liked Vulgar Display, so I knew who I was seeing. But
Yeah.
it was just another band, and I hope they would continue to be as awesome. And live, Dime was just awesome. I really wish I could go back and appreciate that night a little more and try to meet them, or we just saw the show and left.
Yeah.
Um, but So that was Vulgar Display. Again, probably their most popular record. Songs like Walk, you know, um, Vulgar Display of Power. Um, I'm at a, I just blanked on that whole set list, but um, just a fucking amazing record. Um, but anyway, Far Beyond Driven comes out 2 years later. Again, I saw this tour, Far Beyond Driven, I believe was Sepultura, and that was incredible.
I
Uh,
bet that was amazing.
Saw
Sepultura,
them at
the
Lakewood.
real Sepultura when it was actually the real Sepultura was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, on the Chaos AD tour,
Yeah, that's
um,
cool.
and it was fucking great. The What's funny is original covers of Far Beyond Driven. And I should still have the CD with this cover. It's got these hands spreading someone's ass cheeks apart and this fucking rusty drill bit just going up their ass. Um,
That's hilarious.
and that was Far Beyond Driven. Uh, pretty, pretty hellacious cover.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, if you go to the wiki page for that album, it's on there. It's the
oh,
album
okay.
cover that was rejected by the record label. Label, yeah.
Yeah, but I had a promo
Um,
and it had that cover on it.
the cover was used for vinyl record releases,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
on the vinyl. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
and I have the vinyl somewhere.
Yeah, it's an
But
ass with a
that
giant
cover is
screw going up it. Yeah, Jesus
that cover
Christ.
is pretty fucking
That's a
rough.
that's a new take on metal up your ass. It's
Yeah,
far more
basically.
graphic, literal version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but the cover was just as brutal as the music. Songs like "Becoming," "I'm Broken," "5 Minutes Alone." They have an amazing Planet Caravan cover on here. Sabbath, "Throws a Rejection," another great song, and then they do a Poison Idea cover song called "The Badge," which was the Japanese bonus track. If you track that down. Um, but Far Beyond Driven, this was just phenomenal. They were taking off. Um, Phil Anselmo starts getting back issues, starts taking heroin. Um, Never a good idea to do heroin. Um,
Yeah. No. The I mean, one thing that has always been recommended for a little back pain is just go straight into a smack habit, and that always solves it
it does.
immediately.
It'll
Yeah.
that'll really change up everything.
Yeah.
Um, but so
You have
tensions are
so much bigger problems that back pain just seems like
right.
nothing.
Tensions are building and building due to Phil's addiction to heroin. The band Soldiers On, the Great Southern Trendkill comes out in '96. They're really establishing like every 2 years they're putting another album out. Um, Touring, 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 and then they go in the studio and bust out. Um, just incredible album after incredible album. And what's interesting, they're one of the few bands I can think of that as they got heavier, they got more popular. And I don't know too many
Mm,
bands,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Um,
Which one was it that debuted at number one on the charts? Was that Far Beyond Driven?
that's Far Beyond Driven, yeah.
Yeah, debuted it. This is yeah, 1994. So grunge is when did Nevermind come out? Fall of
92, never mind.
Yeah, so grunge is in full force, and a lot of
Oh yeah.
these original thrash metal bands are trying to retool their sound and make albums that are accurately titled "Load," like a load of shit.
Right.
and and don't trust being heavy. And Pantera is just, we're
Oh,
gonna be heavy as we want, and it works commercially.
and we
You
should
know, it's like,
mention that even the founders of these grunge bands were moving on and changing their sound. Soundgarden. Uh, you listen to Black Hole Sun or their first, Ultra Mega OK, completely different band.
oh yeah. But I'm just
So
saying, like the bands that that the heavier version of Pantera was obviously inspired by was like the thrash scene. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
Metallica and Anthrax and Exodus and all those guys, and all those guys were kind of cowering, and Megadeth didn't Risk come out somewhere around '94?
I
The
think
terrible Megadeth album.
94. I
Yeah,
think
so all
94,
those
and that's
guys are shying away from that sound
yeah.
because they think it's not going to sell records. And Pantera dives right in and debuts at number one with it. It's just interesting, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
I even Scott Ian of Anthrax talks about Pantera really saving metal
yeah,
by their refusal to uh,
water it down.
water it down,
Yeah,
i.e., Motorhead, and they
I think for
towed
them
the line.
they had already learned that lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They did the pop metal thing. They knew in their guts they didn't like it, and they were never going to go back to it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and
that's
that's a
why they were
reason
just like,
those
"Fuck that. We're going to
that's the
keep
reason those
pushing
first
this."
few albums to this day remain on they don't talk about them because it's you know uh
It's not what they originally
not who they
what they
are.
really realized was their sound, but
Yeah.
they've been there. They did their Load and their Risk and all
Oh
those
yeah, man.
albums. They did them first and got them out of the way, and they weren't
Yeah,
going to go back. You
they
know?
weren't.
Yeah.
So Great Southern Trendkill. This is another classic fucking record. Drag the Waters. Suicide Note Part One is this layered acoustic thing. Uh, just to me at that time, I'd never heard anything. I was this is incredible. Suicide Note Part One, and it's very uh, calm, and then Suicide Note Part Two is like rip your face buzz saw, like you've shoved your head in a blender. Um, the contrast is really intense. Underground in America, another fantastic record. Um, that song, but Great Southern Trendkill, excellent, excellent album. Um, and I wanted to point out at this point in the timeline that Pantera would do these New Year's Eve parties every year. And in '97, and again, this is still more tension in the band. Rex and Phil decide they don't want to play New Year's Eve gigs anymore. And uh, what you see as you follow the Pantera story is that Dime and Vinny are just partying and having a good time, very positive cats, and I'm not sure what's up Rex's ass, but Phil just in the throes of heroin is just kind of this ogre, in the camp, and nobody wants to really be around him.
Well, he's in a
But
lot of pain. You know, he's got the back
yeah,
pain thing, and it's
yeah,
hard to be kind of carefree when you're in the middle of all that. Um,
um,
so can I tell a story from what year are we at right now?
well, let me finish this, and then you do your story. They formed a good time party band called
Okay,
Gasoline,
all right,
and Gasoline, uh, Rex and Phil didn't want to play anymore, so they formed this good time band, and they're doing covers, basically just beer drinking and hell raising. They would
right.
do Pat Travers, Ted Nugent, Black Sabbath, Wasp, Thin Lizzy, Quiet Riot, Slayer. Um, those types of covers, and then two originals that is mentioned if you look up Gasoline. An original song called "This Ain't a Beer Belly, It's a Gas Tank for My Love Machine." I
Oh,
would love to
that's
hear what
poetic.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then "Get Drunk Now," probably
Yeah.
a chant back, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so that was Gasoline, similar to the Spastic Kids that Metallica had, just a drunken side project. But so that's Gasoline. Go ahead. What's your story?
All right. So around 1998, um, uh, Dave Grohl is they're playing at Ozfest in England. Do you know this story about Dave
I
Grohl and
don't.
Pantera? So
No, go ahead.
they get a last minute invite. Foo Fighters get a last minute invite to replace Korn at Ozfest
Oh, I
in
do know
England.
this story. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they play the show, and they really hit it off with Dime and Vinny, right? And as they're parting ways, Vinny gives Dave a business card for the clubhouse, which was the strip club that Vinny and Dimebag owned in Texas. They own their own strip club, and so which of course they did, right? That shouldn't surprise anybody.
No.
And so and so Grohl and Taylor Hawkins are doing a road trip across the country. Um, about within the year after that, and one of their designated stops, we're gonna stop at the clubhouse and go party with Dime and Vinny. Somewhere along the way, Dave Grohl leaves his wallet at a gas station and doesn't realize it, and doesn't realize when and where he lost it, but it was at a gas station on the road trip. So they get to the strip club. The doorman asks for their ID. Grohl realizes he doesn't have his wallet. And so they're him and Taylor are pleading, but we're friends with Pantera. This is the lead singer. This is the guy who was the drummer for Nirvana and the leader of Foo Fighters. And the the doorman doesn't know who the fuck he is. And the
I
doorman,
fucking
they're like,
love it.
but we're friends with Pantera. And the doorman's like, everybody's friends with Pantera. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they leave. And so they drive all the way to the strip club across the country. And Vinny and Dime are like 100 feet away inside the building. And Dave Grohl can't get in because he lost his wallet. And
Again, no cell phones.
yeah, a little footnote to the story: about 10 years later, Grohl is in a surf shop in Oxnard, California. The cashier recognizes him and goes, "Oh my God, did you lose your wallet in Barstow, California about 10 years ago?" And Dave Grohl's
Hilarious.
like, "Yeah." And the person he's talking to is like, "My parents owned that gas station and they still have that wallet." Um, and basically they returned it to him 10 years later.
They
Too
mailed it
late.
to him, and
Yeah.
and everything was in the wallet.
Yeah, too late to get into the strip club though, but
Fucking hilarious.
fucking funny.
Um,
Funny story.
so my story involves me, Ozfest 2000, out in Mountain View, California, the Shoreline Amphitheater, which is very similar to Lakewood Amphitheater if you're
In Atlanta. Yeah.
in Atlanta. Um, both owned by Coca Cola, so it's the same setup.
Yeah, the
Um,
sheds as they call
yeah.
them, yeah.
The difference is when you're at Shoreline, it's in Mountain View, California, so everywhere around you are mountains. You know.
Nice.
So anyway, I'm at Ozfest 2000 on the Reinventing the Steel tour. So they had basically 4 years had gone by, you did not hear jack shit from Pantera, and then all of a sudden, Reinventing the Steel comes out. Songs like Revolution is My Name, Goddamn Electric with Kerry King, where he talks about whiskey and weed and Slayer. Um, I'll Cast a Shadow, Death Rattle, another great fucking those that whole album's good. Um, Before Reinventing the Steel, they put out their live album, and that had two tracks on it, two studio tracks. So you know they still kind of maintained a presence, but you had not heard anything until Reinventing the Steel, and sadly this would be their final record. But um, I'm at Ozfest 2000, and you know, you get there, you tailgate, you pound a shit ton of beer, and then you go into this massive crowd of Ozfest metalheads. And this was like just you had all these second stage and third stages. I saw Soulfly there uh, with Rex
Nice.
from
Nice.
Sepultura,
Rex from
Cavalera's band.
Sepultura.
And but anyway,
Nice Cavalier.
I'm walking through this crowd, and you just hear skin on skin, this slap, and I turn, and this girl is bent over at the waist, hair hanging down, holding her face. This guy standing above her, pointing down at her, and I went over. I'm drunk, but
Right.
I went over, and this slow mo hand on the shoulder turned this guy. And I think I had the intention of saying, dude, what the, you know, trying to like, what the hell are you doing, you know?
Well, like he slapped her, basically.
Oh, he slapped he probably broke her jaw. I mean, it was just
Oh,
this,
what a
you know,
what a douchebag.
oh yeah. But I turn him, and then in my stream of consciousness, this fist comes past me and nails this dude right in the chin, and he just goes back and lays out, and there's a whole crowd of people, they're all looking at me, and I turn to like look behind me like, holy shit, am I gonna get hit? And I realize I'm the one that hit the guy, and I'm the least violent person I know.
Oh,
And
you were just drunk and you didn't realize.
I just was like, you just fucking slap some, you know. So I decked his ass, and
Right.
so immediately the crowd like closes around me and gets me out of there because security's like running over, and
Right.
they got me. Next thing I know, I'm back at my seat with a fresh beer, and I've got this line of blood down the bridge of my nose. Somehow, like he had hit me, or I don't know, but the whole bridge of my nose was bleeding, just in time for Pantera.
Oh, that's perfect lead up to a
So
Pantera show. Hey, we got a
yeah.
guest in the
Uh oh.
studio here.
El Condor.
Condor's in the house. Pimp the website.
Uh, Go to snagsandsilky.com. We got mugs, we got t-shirts, we got sweaties.
Hoodies.
Everything you name it. Hoodies,
Stickers.
stickers, mugs,
Yeah.
all that good.
Gummies.
Say Pantera.
Pantera.
Say Dimebag Darrell rules.
Dimebag Darrell rules.
All right. See, there you go.
Parenting at its
What more
best. You
could you
brush
ask
your
for
teeth.
in a spokesman?
Oh, so yeah, so I'm literally sat down with these people, dude. That was fucking awesome, you know, and uh, and I'm like, God, I just want to see Pan. And then you know they open. I think they opened with Walk, but I don't remember. But it was instantly Pantera, and I'm like, ah, thank God. And these people are like, dude, you're bleeding. So, but
Funny.
that's my
I totally
Pantera
thought
story.
you were gonna say the fist that you thought came from behind you. You turned around and it was Dimebag Darrell.
No, no,
Something
no,
like that.
no.
That
That
would have
would
been
be
hilarious.
that would have been no.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
no, but it's like the only fight I've been in since like elementary school.
yeah.
So
My last fight, I won my last fight and I retired after that. Was like eighth, no, might have been ninth grade, ninth or tenth
yeah,
grade. And only reason I won it is because back then, you get in a fight and you just panic, and everybody would start flailing, and you know,
sure.
and I was like, I'm gonna stay calm, and I'm gonna let the other guy flail around, and when his arms are not in front of his face, I'm gonna smack him in the face. And I just thought of that.
That's
next
beautiful.
next time that happens, I'm gonna do that. I made that mental note,
Uh huh.
and because you get back then, you get in a fight once or twice a year, something would happen,
Well,
and so
and most people didn't want to hurt each other. They would like, come on,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
get all
yeah,
in, and the first one
yeah.
touches, sets it off.
But I made that mental note. Next time I'm gonna stay calm, and so I did it. I stayed calm. I punched the guy in the face. Then the fight got broken up, so technically I won. He had the
There
black
you
eye, and
go.
I didn't. And then and then he worked out and became this. I gave him a complex, so he ended up working out and becoming this big muscle bound. Because I fucking then I didn't fuck with him after that because he's too big.
Right.
So,
Well, you said it straight.
but I
Um,
retired. I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not. People begged me to go back to the ring after that for years, and I just
You don't give in. Don't give in,
no,
man.
no. I'm not gonna.
So
I'm not be like Mike Tyson and go fight Jake Paul. I'd never do that.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But so the official breakup announcement was in 2003. Um, Basically, at that point, they're waiting around for Phil. Reinventing the Steel was one of their best records. It's similar to Van Halen 1984 being their most popular record.
Mm,
And where are you guys at? And
right.
so
Now let's
just
break up.
year after year, they're
Well,
waiting.
apparently, what they said in that MTV Behind the Music thing, which we'll link from the Click Pit, is they were touring, reinventing the steel. 9/11 happened. The tour got put on pause, and Phil was like, you know what, my back hurts. I'm just gonna go back to New Orleans and take a break for a year. And so they thought everybody was taking a break, and the next thing they knew, the First Down album is coming out, and then Super Joint Ritual album's dropping, and he's doing all these projects.
Yeah.
You know who played in bass in Super Joint Ritual?
Um, I'm not
Hank
sure.
Three.
Hank
Hank Three.
3, no
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. He
See, and
played with.
like I like Down, but Superjoint is just so abrasive. I just could
Yeah,
never get into.
totally sounds like something Hank Three would get into. But
But Down is they're Down is about to put another record out, first one in years. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. But so the guys, Dime is, bumming like, what the hell am I gonna do? And guys like Zach and Kerry King are like, dude, you're a guitar player. Go. So you can hear Dime on two songs a piece, I think, on three different Anthrax records. Um, he did Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting with Nickelback. Um, after after that, they decide to just form their own band, and they were going to call it Newfound Power. And the band was called Newfound Power all the way up to right before the record, and they changed the name to Damage Plan, and the album would be called Newfound Power.
mm,
And now, personally, uh, I would tell anybody that Damage Plan has Dime's greatest work, his best riffage. I really, you play Pantera and it's amazing. His guitar work on Damage Plan is like a whole new. It, to me, he topped himself. Um,
mm.
he was legendary with Pantera. This Damage Plan record, every track, and then so songs like "Fuck You" with Corey Taylor, "Reborn" and "Soul Bleed" with Zach Wild, "Blink of an Eye," "Pride." Those are songs from that Damage Plan record. They're fucking amazing, amazing songs. Um, but what's interesting is this record became the soundtrack to my downward spiral after my divorce in
Oh
'04.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Blink of an Eye, like every song on that record seemed to describe the Terminator.
Yeah.
So,
They were
so
trying to describe Phil, and for you, it was describing the
right, but
Terminator.
you
Yeah.
know, Soul Bleed, Blink of an Eye, Pride. These all these songs just nailed how what I was going through, and I played the stink out of this record. Um, and then that was in '04. So the Terminator left in December 5th of '04. 3 days later, I get a call in the morning telling me that Dime had been murdered at the Al Rosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio, on the 24th anniversary of John Lennon's death, both murdered by deranged assholes.
Yeah.
And I get to hear that news from my ex wife.
Oh,
So
she's
it
the
was,
one who called you.
yeah. So it was like
That's
almost like
odd.
she was doing it to hand a drowning person a fucking brick.
Yeah.
Um, it just I don't know her thought process if you've left someone leave. Um,
Yeah.
but she wanted to call and be the one to tell me that. Um,
I remember uh, uh, the room is it's 2 rooms away from me right now, probably about 30 feet away. We had a computer in there at the time, desktop computer with the internet. I'd get on there and check the music news and stuff. And I remember when I logged in and saw that all over the internet. And there was forums. Like I remember being on an internet forum that night. It was like I don't know 12:30 at night or whatever, or maybe it was the next day, and the post was from that night. But it was a fresh post. The guy was like, "Holy shit! I'm still shaking. I just got home from the show. Here's what happened." Like the
ugh,
guy had just seen it and posted it
yeah.
on some
Um,
internet forum. It's just
and they had just days before, 2 weeks before, a week before, they played the Masquerade, and I
oh
missed
wow.
it. I remember driving down North Avenue and look over tonight, Damage Plan, and it was whatever date, and I knew it was like the night before, and I'm just like son of a. So me dealing with this ex-wife, all the shit, I missed that show. I would have totally gone, but to quote Bill Hicks, if you're gonna kill someone, have some fucking taste. Um,
Let's mention, yeah. Let's just, well, we've done it so many times. Barry Manilow's still around.
right, the whole thing. I know where Wham lives. Let's go. Um, December 8th at the Alrosa Villa.
Do not,
Nathan
just a
Gale.
disclaimer: do not go out and kill Barry Manilow
Yeah,
unless you're
don't
listening
kill
to
Barry
this.
Manilow.
Yeah, you got to understand
But
sarcasm.
Nathan Gale would storm through the club loaded with clips and a 9mm handgun, full tactical, goes up on the stage. Security is like you know, in tow behind him, like, "Hey, who is it? Get him!" And he just, you know, this this guy was huge. He was a really big guy. Um, Gets up on the stage. 10 seconds into the show, uh, he takes the stage, shoots 5 bullets into Dime, killing him instantly, along with Jeff Mayhem Thompson, who was on the stage, his bodyguard. Um, Another big, huge guy kills him, who had tackled Gale. And then Aaron Hawk, an employee of the club, also tried to restrain Gale. He kills him. So now you have 3 people dead. Then a fan in the crowd, who was also an EMT, just went into EMT mode. Nathan Bray He climbs up on the stage. He's just going to try and offer aid to Dime and Mayhem, and gets killed. Um, and then their tour manager, Chris Paluska, a road crew member, Travis Burnett, and drum tech John Brooks would all suffer non lethal gunshots. Um, Cat Brooks, John Brooks, was the drum tech. They basically tackled um, Vinny, kept him down from getting shot. Um, Nathan Gale's on the stage trying to kill Vinny, firing into the crowd and stuff.
His mission was to kill Dime and Vinny. Basically,
Yeah,
that's what
he
he's
wanted to
doing.
kill them both.
Yeah.
Um, and then off duty police officer, first responder, James Niggemeyer, uh, he would blow Nathan's head off. In between the amplifiers, saw the shot and shot. Um, Nathan Gale had Cat Brooks in an arm lock and had shot him a couple times, had him kind of as a human shield in front of him. And, you know, so this officer, he had one chance, and he basically risked his career to take this dude's head off. The way Nathan Gale had positioned himself, no one could get to him, and he had all this ammunition, and in between the amplifiers, he had one shot and just shot him in the back of the head. But Gale was a paranoid schizophrenic, and I'm saying know your people. Mental health in this country. If you know someone in your circle is unstable, don't give them a gun for their birthday. You know, um, it's just simple shit that we all need to be checking in with each other, taking care of our family, looking at our neighbors, not in a persecution way, but if someone's unstable, there's things that as a society we should be doing, not just ignoring somebody that's weird or whatever. Um, so that's my soapbox. Um, Mental health needs to be addressed far better in this country. Too many people, the insurance company cancels on you or doesn't, or a lot of mental health people don't like the medication, so they stop taking it, and people don't do anything about it. So, but anyway, um, some of the books that you can check out: A Vulgar Display of Power, Courage and Carnage at Alrosa Villa. This is by Chris A. And the cool thing about this book is it's about the other people that died that night. And as you read that book, it's on Amazon as a paperback. But as you read that book, uh, you get to know the other people that were killed that night,
Mm.
um, which is just really interesting. Um, and then Rex Brown, The Official Truth, 101 Proof. Rex's memoir about Pantera. Blacktooth Grin, High Life, Good Times, and Tragic End of Dimebag Darrell by Zach Crane. That's a really good one. Um, that's on Kindle and all the things. Then there three vulgar videos from hell combined the three videos uh, that they released while they were Pantera, and this is them backstage, all the shenanigans, all the hijinks, all the beer drinks, fireworks, and just all the shenanigans that they were up to. It is a wonderful way to see what it was like to be a fly on the wall during the Pantera heyday. Um, uh, Three vulgar videos from hell. And then Dime Vision Volume 1 and 2 were released posthumously by Vinny, and those are collections of Dimebag Darrell's home movies, jamming out, goofball bullshit. And both are stuck in books full of photos and stuff. They're good coffee table books with DVDs of performances and shit. So,
Cool.
and then Phil Anselmo has Mouth for War, Pantera, and Beyond. There's no date on it, so if you look it up, it says it's uh, coming out in 2050. Only because they don't have a date yet. Um, but if
Hmm.
you try to order it, you apparently it's linked to some other product that's not a book. Uh, there's some
Sounds really simple
just
and
Amazon,
inexpensive. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
just Amazon. Somebody ordered it, and
Link to a
why?
blow up doll or something.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
some stupidness. But I'm like, why would you order something with a date that's set that far out, and then he gets something? I don't even remember what it was, but
Mm.
Vinnie Paul died in 2018. Uh, he had basically, you weren't going to see him again after his brother, and he went in, he started producing. He set up Vinnie Paul Records, had a website, um, sold different things, and then the guys from different bands, Nonpoint and some other bands, formed Hell Yeah, and they did 6 albums, one DVD, 2 live albums with Vinnie Paul playing drums again and touring.
I
Never
didn't
got to
realize
see
they
him
did 6 albums. Wow.
yet. Yeah. The second album, Stampede, is amazing.
Hmm.
Um, really good record. But the last thing I was going to mention, the Pantera Legacy, if you want to call it that. Phil Anselmo, Rex, Zach Wild, and Charlie Benante from Anthrax. Um, they have been touring for the last 3 years as Pantera, but it's really a tribute to the memory of the Abbott brothers, um, and
Yeah,
it's
it's kind of in my mind.
mixed emotions.
That's kind of like David Lee Roth and Michael Anthony going out as Van Halen. You know,
Yeah,
because
totally.
it was their band. It was
Yeah.
the Abbott brothers band. But
It was,
yeah,
and there's people who go, "Oh, this is bullshit," because Vinny had expressed it's not Pantera, it'll never be Pantera without Dime, it's not Pantera, um, and
I,
for me, I went. They opened for Metallica. I wanted to see them, if anything, just to hear those songs one more time. Um, it it certainly wasn't Dime, but Zach Wild plays the fuck out of the guitar. It was
I
a
have to
good
say
show.
though that I don't know what was going on the Back to the Beginning fest. They were they didn't impress me. You know,
No, it was very subdued there, and I don't
very
know.
lackluster
Yeah,
performance.
it
Or
was very subdued.
yeah.
They did better when I saw them, but
Hmm.
I know what you're talking about. It
Yeah.
was I don't know if Phil was sick or who knows.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
but
anyways, yeah, that
Yeah,
was an
so I
interesting
saw them
story.
on
The
the
whole band.
72 Seasons tour. The set list in June, this past June, New Level, Mouth for War, Strength Beyond Strength, Becoming, I'm Broken, 5 Minutes Alone, This Love, Fucking Hostile, Walk, Domination, Hollow, and they close with Cowboys from Hell. Um, that was a great show. It was just fun to hear those songs again. At the back to the beginning, they did Cowboys from Hell, Walk, Planet Caravan, and Electric Funeral. But that is Pantera, kids.
There you have it. Hopefully,
Um,
this episode recorded. If you're listening
that's
to it,
going to
of
be
course it
really
did.
upsetting
Yeah.
after all that.
Yep.
But episode 112.
No,
Tune in next week, kids.
this was episode 111. Episode 112 is coming up next week. All right. Peace out.
Deuces.